My name's Jennifer Walker. I am a battalion chief, and I've been on the department for a little bit over 30 years. Well, I was kind of lost and had no real plan on what to do. My best friend's father is, he was a arson investigator here in Dallas, captain. And he kind of saw me just floundering, not really knowing where I was going, and kind of pushed me in this direction. He knew I had 6 brothers and 3 sisters and that I was physically fit, so he felt like it was a good fit for me, and he was correct. Some characteristics that I have, he knew about that got me where I am was physical fitness, for one. I was pretty smart. I had good grades, especially in the math and science fields. I have, like I said, a large family, lots of brothers. I was very accustomed to being surrounded by men and being able to handle the back and forth and the agitation that goes along with it. So those characteristics, plus he knew I was very self-sufficient, and we didn't have a lot in my family growing up, and I always had a job. So he just really had a love for me, like almost a second father, and he knew me very well. Before I joined, I really didn't see any other women. Like I said, 30 years ago, it wasn't commonplace. I knew there were women in the fire service, but I didn't see them. I didn't know who they were. It was still kind of a novelty when I joined to have other women around. I didn't think about it too much. I gotta say, I didn't grow up thinking I could only do what other women did. I played on basketball teams with all boys. Everything I did was with my brothers. So it was just a continuation of the way I had been raised. It wasn't that big of a deal. My family, that was never a question or an issue. When I told my parents that I was gonna try to get on the fire department, it was like, oh, that'll be awesome, you'll be great. So, I just was part of the crew. I was just one of the guys. I think it's improved a lot. I think it's much more accepted. The younger generation has been, surrounded by women in particular fields for a while now. So they're not really thinking it's anything different or odd. When I first came through, there was probably only one particular instance where I knew that they didn't want me at the station. Everyone else was always very, very welcoming. Had great leaders who always were very helpful in teaching me. So I think it's even gotten better as we've come along. That we very rarely hear about women, being pushed out of stations strictly because they're a female. As far as me being part of the culture to change minds, that's putting a lot of pressure on me, I guess. I don't think I'm all that, but that's, I hope that I've been a really good example of what women in the fire department are. Hopefully everybody else thinks I represent it well too. It's a lot of responsibility, a responsibility I've always been happy to take on. I never thought that that's where I was headed here. Like I said, when I hired on, it was kind of like, okay, what is this? I didn't grow up in a fire department family, so I didn't understand the culture. I didn't understand the way the ranks worked and all that kind of thing. So as I've grown up in the fire department, I've always been happy to take on bigger roles. I think I was built for that. Like I said, a large family, you have to learn how to get along with others, how to manage personalities. And so I think that led me to continue to grow and to continue to try to have bigger roles and responsibilities. One of the benefits of being in the fire department is having that second family. You just didn't realize, I didn't realize, like I said, I didn't grow up in the fire department, so I didn't realize how big of an impact that would have. Anytime we've had a tragedy in my family, my fire department family has surrounded and helped me get through some very difficult times. And so that has been probably the biggest impact, is just having these lifelong friends that become family, and that, you know, even now I probably contact somebody on the fire department before my own brothers and sisters, just because of the things that we've been through and the understanding of our careers. One of my favorite parts of being in the fire department is the kitchen table. We lots of cracking up, lots of probably some inappropriate conversations, but it's again it's the family aspect. It's where everybody gets the pressure off their shoulders and comes together and just enjoys being there, being each other's partners. That's probably one of my favorite things. I would say, you know, when I started, just like I wanted something in civil service. I, you know, probably gave the standard answer, I just want to help people. But as my role has changed, it's less about saving lives and more about saving firemen. And that's been very important for me.